Hi guys, hi and welcome to Material Monday. So in today's episode, we're still working in leather. It's a leather series, and I'm going to be showing you a few additional ones that I've worked on, and then we're going to actually work on the backing of one. I'll show you this in a minute. And we're going to work with a few tools. We're going to use the mallet and this, I don't even know what it's called, but it dampens the sound. And we've got some additional tools that we can make some patterns into the piece. And my awl, and it's my wood burning tool, and I'm going to show you when I was sharing in the last video, I shared that when you're using these tools, try and use them to their maximum. So you've got to experiment with them so that you can, and play about so that you can use them and find out all the different ways you can use them. So there's another surprise way to use it that I will show you as we go on. Okay, so let's take a closer look at some of these. I need to be careful. Actually, I can turn it off for the moment, and then when we're ready. Okay, so let's come in. So these pieces what I've done is taken the broader scrap pieces that I got, and where I've worked on a smaller piece, I've then given it a backing. So in this particular piece, I've created a face, and you can see all of the work that I've done on them. I've used a range of different tools on the face. There's one there, well, it's not really a flower, but I've used as many tools as I felt I wanted to create this image. And then on the outside, I think it's actually this tool that I've used to make these marks, and then I've gone back round and used some other supplies. So you can see the range of tools you get. I've used them in each one of the tools. I've tried like a couple of additional ways to use it. So that's that piece. The leather itself, this particular paler leather, takes a while for you to burn into it. Okay, so that's that piece. So this next piece, we've again used a range of different tools, and I'll come in so you can see the detail a bit better. So I like creating faces, so I've just tried to create that even almost looks like a glow around here, doesn't it, where it's lighter. But again, using a variety of different supplies and use them in a different way. So this particular one was the flat tear-shaped one, and I've used it here to create this shape. So when you put them together or create a pattern, you can create some nice effects. And again, using the barrel of some of the pieces, and this is a surprise tool effect that I'm going to show you as well. And there is not a tool for this, so I'll show you how I do this. And again, it's an irregular shape scrap of leather that I've just worked with and made it work. But if you put them on either square or round like this one is, it doesn't actually even matter that it's like a glimpse into a picture. I think they look quite effective, but I've yet to decide the next stage, how they're going to be attached. These could go on journals. They're slightly too big to be like a decorative piece of jewellery, but these will be nice in a wall hanging or a frame, or we'll see. So this next one now, again, it's an irregular cut of leather, scrap of leather, and this one has got an irregular cut too, but they seem to fit together, and we'll come in and see some of the tools that I've used. So with my particular set of wood burning tool, it comes with a knife that you can burn into the wood or the leather or create lines, and I've used this to create the shapes. I've created patterns with some of them, and echoed some of the patterning that we've got in the figure itself. So they kind of come together quite nicely. And then in the face, use some of the wood burning tool. I like the way that the eyes, the effect of the eyes, and you can just get some really nice effects. Again, you just have to experiment. So we're going to do just that. So these are the three together, so I think they look quite effective. So let us get on. So I've got this piece. I've already done a face. I've been playing about like crazy, and just I really have been enjoying creating the face, creating patterns, again using the different wood burning heads and seeing what I can come up with, and then just doodling. So a lot of this is me doodling and, you know, creating the shapes and thinking, oh yeah, let me do that here, and then around the edge finishing, creating like a border. Okay, so this is going to sit on this piece here. It's a blue, again, this has been dyed, so it was the same colour as this, but it's been dyed, and it's just going to sit on there. It's going to sit on there like so. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be doing some mark making on here using a variety of the tools, and seeing how I've got this bit as my scrap. But seeing how effective some of the tools that I've got. So I might even do that actually. So let us get a move on. I'm going to be using, so this particular tool, again I'm not sure what it's called, it's like a paper scorer maybe, my awl, my mallet. I think I'll use the craft one. As I said, the craft one is just slightly lighter, so it depends on how much you're going to be using it that will determine determine whether your risk can take it in terms of, you know, the weight of it. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Now I could actually, to make sure I get a straight line on here, use this ruler. It's an idea. So most people have got rulers. So I'm just going to score this a couple of times. and that will be the border. Now the other thing I've got to be mindful is that you're not necessarily going to see all the detail in here. So what I might do is just score around just so that I've got a guideline. And it's very light, isn't it? I'm going to have to go heavier. You're not really going to see it, but even if you do, it's just another pattern. But then at least I know that you won't see any of this middle part, and I can just carry on working. Okay, so let us get going. Okay, so far I've given myself a guideline, so I know where the piece is going to sit. So it's going to sit like that. So there's some of the sit like that. So I'm not going to be doing the marks all the way around. I won't need to do them all the way around. I'll maybe do some at the bottom because I think you can see the bottom. Even some of the ones that I did you're not going to see, but it kind of, you could still see the edge of them, so it's worthwhile just going round. The other thing that I want to try now and show you is how I created this mark without having the actual head, wood burning head, to do that. So that's going to take this one off. I'm using my this is for my jewellery making, and I've got a tea light here. I'm going to put it in. So we're just going to screw off the end, and even without one of its heads, your wood burning tool itself, this is how I created that shape. So I'm going to do it right at the edge, so you can see you've got a nice little half circle, and I'm just going to go round. Now this does let off some fumes, so make sure you've got your windows open and maybe even have a fan on. Okay, so you saw how I used this edge and created the patterns, and I've gone down here, But again, you're not going to see all of them, but that's fine. But it's pretty amazing how it can turn out. Just do a few more on here. And you would have seen me also use the edge, so using the edge to create a line, you can extend it so I'm pressing down, and that is just with the tool itself. And then if you go at the end of a project, you can create like half circles, like so. You can create patterns as well. Create patterns on the leather there. So let's turn this off. So these only really work well on the lighter pieces of fabric. Let's have a look at the darker piece. You can still make a mark in the darker piece, dependent on the fabric itself, but again, you need to experiment and yeah, have fun. So this one's buckling a bit. Maybe it's because it's at the end, but it still looks quite nice. Okay, so there you have it. That's how I would use my wood burning tool in a slightly different way alongside some of the other tools. So you can see on this piece, sorry. So you can see on this piece where I've stamped in, you can see where, well actually you can't see the initial line that I did with this tool, but that's fine. You can see it there, so it does mark the leather. And then I went to town with the end of the piece and created some patterns. And it is just like doodling, you know, you want to create patterns on the page. This was done with the tool itself, and then I went in with the end and did these lines. And yeah, you can get some really nice, effects, especially if you're pairing them together. And this piece I will glue with like a fabric glue, and that will stay and leave it to sit for a day or two, and then decide what that piece will be used for, and it will join the rest of them that have been worked on. So they'll all be now at the next stage. So I do like to work in batches like this, where I can get them all to a certain stage and then move on to the next bit, whether they go on fabric or whatever, a wall hanging or whatever. I can then work my way through these pieces, see which one inspires me the most. Like, I think I'll probably do it in this order. Work on this one first and see how we get on. Okay, so next week I'll probably look at another tool very briefly and show you some other bits that I've been working on, and see how we get on. Okay, so take care for now. I hope that's been useful. Take care and see you soon.